From the moment she stepped out of her sleek black car, Emma Carlton felt a crack in her perfect world. The city around her shimmered in its usual chaos, glass towers reflecting sunlight, people rushing with coffee cups in hand, unaware of the storm brewing in her heart. But Emma wasn't looking at the city. She was staring at the fountain in the park, her eyes fixed on the trembling figure of a boy no older than 12, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Hungry. Please help." Emma's world was one of boardrooms, private jets, and champagne celebrations. She was one of the youngest billionaires in America, inheriting a fortune her parents had built from scratch. But no amount of money could fill the emptiness she felt that morning. Just an hour ago, she had lost the deal that could have saved her company from bankruptcy. Her assistant's trembling hands had delivered the news, and Emma had spent the last hour locked in her car, crying silently behind dark-tinted windows. And then the boy had appeared, like a small thread connecting her back to reality. His eyes, wide and hesitant, held no judgment, just an awkward courage that pierced through her despair. "Can I hug you?" he asked, his voice barely more than a whisper. Emma froze. The question didn't make sense at first. Why would a homeless boy want to hug her? She didn't have the energy for more complications, for strangers, for fake kindness. But something in his gaze, something innocent and raw, made her body betray her mind. Without thinking, she knelt down, allowing the boy to wrap his small arms around her. The hug was brief, but in those few seconds, Emma felt a warmth she hadn't experienced in years. The tears she had been holding back spilled freely, soaking the boy's shirt. He didn't pull away. Instead, he held her tighter, as if he understood that sometimes the world's heaviest burdens are best shared, even in silence. "My name is Liam," he said when they finally separated, his small hand clutching her wrist. "Do you want to talk?" Emma sniffled and nodded. She had no idea why she was talking to a homeless child in a park, but the words tumbled out anyway. I lost everything today. My company, my reputation. It feels like the world doesn't care." Liam tilted his head, studying her with a wisdom that seemed impossible for a 12-year-old. "The world never stops caring," he said softly. "It's just, sometimes people forget to see it, but I see it, and right now I see you hurting. That counts." Emma laughed bitterly. "You don't even know me." "I don't need to," Liam replied. "Sometimes it's enough to see someone's pain to know they're human. That's all that matters." For the next hour, they sat together on the edge of the fountain. Emma shared fragments of her life, her achievements, her struggles, her loneliness. Liam spoke of the streets, of nights spent under bridges, of kindnesses that had been rare but unforgettable. He told stories that broke her heart and yet filled her with hope, stories of small victories, of surviving storms that no adult ever prepared him for. Emma realized something she hadn't in years. She had been measuring life by wealth, by status, by the number of zeros in her bank account. But here was Liam, who had nothing and yet possessed more courage and clarity than she had ever felt. "You're brave," Emma whispered finally. Liam shrugged. "I don't have a choice." The moment was interrupted by the harsh sound of laughter. Two businessmen walked past, sneering at Liam. "Get a job, kid," one of them said, tossing a coin that landed a few feet away. Emma felt a spark of anger she hadn't known she could feel. She stood up, towering in her tailored suit, and said, "He's got more courage than either of you will ever have." The men scoffed and walked away, leaving Emma and Liam alone again. She noticed the boy shivering despite the warm sun, his clothes ragged, his hands raw from the cold nights. Without thinking, she unbuttoned her blazer and draped it over his shoulders. Liam looked at her with a mixture of gratitude and surprise. "You don't have to do that," he said softly. Emma smiled. "No, I do. And maybe I need to too." There was a silence between them, comfortable and real. It was then that Emma realized she had been running for years, from pressure, from expectations, from herself. But here, in a park with a homeless boy, she felt seen, truly seen. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Liam became inseparable in a quiet, unspoken way. She would visit him in the park, bring him meals, and teach him how to read better. Liam taught her something far more valuable: how to live in the moment, how to feel without the constant pressure of performance, how to forgive herself for being human. One day, Emma invited Liam to her office. "I want to show you something," she said. He looked around in awe. The building was massive, glass walls reflecting the sunlight like shards of brilliance. Emma led him to her corner office, the walls lined with books, awards, and photographs of her achievements. Liam's eyes widened, but he didn't say a word. "I used to think all of this mattered," Emma said, gesturing to the room. "But it doesn't. Not really. The only thing that matters is connection. Real people, real feelings." Liam nodded. "You're learning fast." Emma smiled, but a shadow crossed her face. "I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. I've ignored myself. But you reminded me that I can change." They sat in silence for a long moment. Then Liam stood looking determined. "I have something for you," he said, reaching into his tattered backpack. He pulled out a crumpled drawing, smudged with pencil and dirt. It was a sketch of the two of them sitting by the fountain, smiling. "It's not much, but it's for me." Emma took it with tears in her eyes. "It's everything," she whispered. Months passed, and Emma's company slowly recovered, not because of luck or deals, but because she approached life differently. She started mentoring young entrepreneurs, donating anonymously to shelters, and prioritizing human connections over boardroom victories. Liam, with Emma's support, found a place to live and started school regularly, excelling in ways Emma had never imagined. One evening, as they walked through the park, Liam stopped and looked up at Emma. "You've changed so much," he said. Emma smiled. "No, you changed me. You reminded me that wealth isn't measured by money but by love, by courage, and by how many hearts you touch." Liam grinned, tossing a pebble into the fountain. "Then I guess we're both rich now." Emma laughed, the sound light and free for the first time in years. She looked at Liam, at the boy who had hugged a millionaire and changed her life forever, and realized that sometimes the most unexpected encounters leave the deepest marks. That hug, that single simple act of courage and kindness, had rewritten the course of her life. And as they walked away, the city's chaos faded behind them, replaced by the quiet, enduring truth. No matter how lost you feel, no matter how empty your world seems, a single moment of human connection can heal, transform, and inspire beyond measure. Emma paused and looked down at Liam, smiling through her tears. "Thank you," she whispered. Liam shrugged, that same mischievous, wise smile on his face. "You didn't need me. You just needed to remember how to feel. And that's something money can't buy." And in that instant, Emma understood that life's richest treasures are never found in accounts, contracts, or titles. They are found in the courage to care, in the grace to forgive, and in the unexpected hands that hold you when the world lets go.